The second commandment is like the first. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. And that's exactly what St. Aloysius Gonzaga did in the 16th century. It's a remarkable story of this young man who was born in a turbulent time, in a turbulent country, but there was great music composed at that time, and architecture and art. But his situation was born as the oldest of 8 children into a very wealthy and powerful family. But at the age of 9, young Aloysius made a commitment to God that he would be a virgin and celibate and would serve God. And at the age of 17, he entered a new religious order known as the Jesuits. But to do that, he had to formally renounce his inheritance. That's a big deal, right? It wasn't $10, It was quite the inheritance. And he freed himself from that. And he became a member of the Jesuit order. And during the course of his studies, he lived in Rome. His spiritual director and confessor was St. Robert Bellarmine. And then in 1585, when he was 23 years old, there was a plague that broke out in Rome. It was far worse than COVID. Many, many people died. And he volunteered to take care of the sick people. And because of that, he got the disease. And he died. And that's very inspiring to see the generosity of this young man who could have done whatever he wanted, but he gave himself up to the love of God and the love of others. Now, in the first reading, we're told that the person who loves God keeps his commandments. For the love of God is this, that we keep his commandments. Now, if we're going to keep his commandments, in the first place, we have to know his commandments. I don't know if it's the case today, but 15 years ago, when I would speak at men's conferences, I would pull out a crisp, brand new $100 bill and say, gentlemen, this could be yours if you can stand up and recite the 10 commandments in order. And pandemonium would break out. And I said, unless you've been homeschooled. If you're homeschooled, you're eliminated, because you already know that, right? Nobody could get it. Something so simple. People don't know the 10 commandments in order. So the very first thing we have to do is know the 10 commandments in order. The first commandment is, I am the Lord your God. You shall have no false gods before me. Second commandment, do not take the name of the Lord in vain. In English, that means we revere 4 words: Lord, Jesus, Christ, and God. In Spanish, there's other words you have to revere. But in English, it's Lord, Jesus, Christ, and God. Third commandment, keep holy the Sabbath day. We go to Mass on Sundays. Fourth commandment is honor your father and mother. Fifth commandment, thou shalt not kill. The sixth commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. The seventh commandment, thou shalt not steal. The eighth commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness. The ninth commandment, you shall not covet your neighbor's goods. The 10th commandment, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Or you flip them around, either way. So there it is. And then we need to know what the second commandment is: to love your neighbor as yourself. I knew a man, didn't know him personally, but I knew more of him by reputation, who was a fabulously successful businessman. And his motto was, whoever has the most wins. That really was his motto. And he could say it with a straight face. It's amazing. He had a lot. He had a beautiful home out in Aspen. He had a home in Monaco. He had a yacht. He had a big place down in Naples. He had several businesses, but that literally was his motto: whoever has the most wins. But when you die, you can't put it all in a U-Haul and bring it out to the cemetery and bury it with you. I think our motto should be, as Christians, whoever serves the most wins, especially at home. The silent service that makes life more pleasant for the others. And many times, that is the most pleasing sacrifice or penance or mortification we can do to make life more pleasant for the others. And how do we do that? Little details of service, but especially our attitude in conversation, making it positive and uplifting and encouraging. That's really kind of the hallmark of being a Christian. So today, the church rejoices with the extraordinary example and inspiring example of St. Aloysius Gonzaga.